Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the Weekly Comic Book Runner. We've made our way through most of our books. We got the last bit of our Marvel books as well as a DC book. So, kicking things off, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 5. Which I believe. Ooh, that means the next issue is going to be the big one. Issue 900. Alright, so where we left off, Tombstone had basically tricked Spider-Man into taking down the Rose for him. Meanwhile, Peter's friend Robbie had was proposed to by Tombstone's daughter Janice, aka the Beetle. But Robbie, no, I'm getting. Was it Ronnie? But yeah, but Janice and her fiance made their way back to New York when Ronnie, I believe, not Robbie, but Ronnie, couldn't get a hold of his father. Longtime friend of Peter Parker's, Robbie Robertson, and also a longtime childhood acquaintance of Tombstone's. They didn't get along. They didn't get along well to begin with. So where we open up, Digger is stuck in traffic. Upon arrival at the Rose's hideout, they see that they're late for the party, and so, yeah, they head out. Spider-Man is not happy at all with the fact that he basically just did Tombstone's dirty work for him. But the council of the crime bosses meet including Tombstone. It's very much kind of a, not entirely sure that, kind of is Tombstone working with Spider-Man? Because Spider-Man's kind of given a lot of them trouble over the years. But, yeah. Also, they kind of, with the exception of Crime Master himself, most of it's kind of, or it's like, whatever, about the fact that Tombstone roughed up Crime Master. Especially when Tombstone basically justifies the thing, it's Crime Master, and Hammerhead agrees, saying, guy's got a point. Back at Peter's place, Black Cat catches up with him. And he's, well, not exactly the happiest Spider, so, but they talk a bit. and but Peter and Felicia's very offered to help with Peter, but he insists he has to. What he's dealing with, he's got to deal with alone. As she tells him though that if he finds his smile, give her a call. Maybe she'll let him chase her around for a bit. But Spidey has to deal with talks to get some information from Digger and one of the Rose's henchmen, and as Janice and the Robertsons leave his Long Island home. After they leave, however, Spider-Man's there. Spider-Man was already there, but yeah. And Spidey basically just decides that, says, hey, you know what, you win. And whether Spidey likes it or not, Tombstone turned them into a team. And he suggests maybe they could keep the team thing going, Spidey goes to all over Tombstone's deals, makes sure everything's okay. Maybe even start taking down Tombstone's competition. It was fun the first time. Come out with it. Make it clear to all the mob friends, all of Tombstone's mob friends. Spidey acts exclusively under Tombstone's orders. Nothing he'd be ashamed of, right? Unless Tombstone thinks that would make them mad. So, of course, Tombstone asks what Spidey wants, and he simply says, he doesn't want the power struggle that comes if he brings down Tombstone. So, what he wants is for Tombstone to play nice out there. And apparently, when Spidey went to talk to Digger, he told them about where Tombstone's keeping product. And as he's saying that, Tombstone gets a call from White Rabbit that Digger's tearing their hideout up. But after Spidey leaves Tombstone's as Peter, he pays a visit to Aunt May. Shit. Off to have dinner with her, and it does seem she's going. He simply tells, when she asks what happened to his face, well, he simply tells her one of those things, and that is where the issue ends. I kind of like how things are kind of starting to come a little, come back together a bit, I guess. I know that issue 900 is going to be big. It might end up being big enough I have to do a video just featuring it when it comes out. We'll see. Hopefully not, though. Anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Carnage number 4. Where we left off, Carnage symbiote and serial killer Kenneth Neely basically jumped into a portal that, and we're probably followed by Detective Jonathan Shade, who seems to have a bit of Carnage symbiote inside of him. The bit that that still has Cletus's personality imprinted on it. So they travel through the portal and eventually Neely is shaken not Neely, but Shade is shaken by Neely and Carnage, and he's just kind of floating through the eternities with that bit of the Carnage symbiote keeping him alive. Meanwhile, Carnage and Neely end up in Svartalheim. We get some background on the realm itself. Turns out every 16 years, there's a group of six dark elves go out to find the wolf god Niaz, the wolf goddess, actually, as she comes to Svartalheim to birth her litter, and she's there for one night. And so the whole thing is 6 of them will go out, and either 6 of them will die or 5 of them will die, and the 6th will return with one of the Niaz wolf cubs. So the 6 are chosen, and they venture out into Svartalheim to get the wolf cub, and Carnage starts to pick them off one by one. However, one of them is not an invalid, but an injured dark elf already, missing a hand, has a crooked spine. So Carnage gives Neely a dagger to tell him to go kill that one. Back with Shade, as it states, somewhere between forever and eternity. Him and Cletus are continuing to talk, and a portal opens up. Yet another portal opens up, and Shade is dragged through, where he meets Spiderling. Though she says he can call her the Pattern Maker. She's been trying to rebuild the web of life and destiny. But something, it's just not seeming to work. And she doesn't understand everything yet, but she knows that her spider sense tells her that a small part of destiny has fallen into the hands of Jonathan Shade. Back on Svartalheim, Neely is looking for the remaining dark elf. However, the elf gets the drop on him, and that is where the issue ends. Carnage is definitely taking an interesting turn, and I'm here for it. I'm loving it. I'm liking this book a lot more than I thought I was going to. Quite interesting, to say the least. Moving on to our next book, though, we've got What If Miles Morales, number 5, wrapping up the What If Miles Morales miniseries. We'd so far been introduced to Miles as Thor, Miles as Hulk, Miles as Captain America, and Miles as Wolverine. As well as Uncle Aaron as Loki, Sabretooth, and an operative of Hydra and AIM. So, we open in Brooklyn. Miles is getting a taco with Gank when a portal opens up, and three variants of Uncle Aaron walk through it. Sabretooth, Loki, and the one that the Cap Miles has to deal with. And so, while Miles is dealing with them, the four variants arrive and help out, eventually taking down three of them. Though a Blue Marvel version of Uncle Aaron comes through a portal. But eventually, the various Uncle Aarons escape. But it seems he intends to make his own reality. That one of the Uncle Aarons intends to make his own reality. However, the device he intends to use is destroyed by Thor Miles and Spider Miles. But soon enough, all of the variants return to their respective universes. And, well, Miles is pretty exhausted and can really go for a taco right about now. And that is where the series ends. All in all, this was a fun series. The previous issue was a little problematic, but it's not the fault of the story. It just kind of was some of the art choices felt a bit stereotypical. But yeah, fun series. I hope that maybe we see those variants again. Moving on to our next book, we've got Ghost Rider number 4. Where we left off, Johnny Blaze is traveling the back roads and occasionally blacking out for a few days and coming to after having been Ghost Rider, usually with some vague clues about what happened over the previous days. Meanwhile, he's being tracked by 2 FBI agents. One of them, a former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent specializing in occult matters. The other one, a more by the book and everything has an explanation type. So, Blaze wakes up in a gas station bathroom, naked. Burned into the roof of the ceiling of it is the words "Exit 666." Someone gives him grief, tries for the bathroom, and Blaze pulls him in, beats him up, and takes his clothes and his bike. Meanwhile, Agent Warroad is in Idaho, and Warroad performs a ritual to get information. Summoning forth one of the magicians responsible for waking up Blaze. In South Dakota, Blaze starts noting that he's been passing through some completely abandoned towns. Very haphazardly abandoned. and he finds a circus flyer. He keeps going from the east and finds more and more. Circus of Crime has set up, but it turns out that the Circus of Crime has apparently gotten a bit of a mystical upgrade. Their ringmaster's using his hypnotic hat to hypnotize the people, but like I said, they've gotten a bit of an upgrade. The people are then dying within the circus. You see one local gonna try to be a trapezist and fall to his death. A woman sticks her head in the mouth of a lion's mouth, and the lion promptly eats it. A bunch of locals get into a clown car, and the clown then crushes the car. A fire eater spits out his fire on the crowd of onlookers, and so forth. Blaze then shows up, all Ghost Ridered out, and all the dead suddenly become attack him with a giant golem of corpses, which he's able to free from the control they're under. It's not clear if he defeated the Circuit of Crime, but he wakes up elsewhere. He starts to, but this time it's not like what normally happens when he becomes a rider. Usually, the rider will stop behind an abandoned barn or somewhere behind a dumpster or the woods. Wake up in the middle of the highway makes him feel like the spirit of vengeance, just ran out of fuel. Blaze says he's still sick in body and mind, feels poisoned, but maybe not by the spirit of vengeance. Then he starts to think that maybe the spirit hasn't been keeping Johnny in the dark because he's punished as a form of punishment, but because he doesn't trust Johnny. That the injury he received before the series started was perhaps something more, and has led to Blaze being somewhat compromised. Then his hand, just his hand transforms, and he burns into the ground, or the road. 3 days, Hell's Backbone rally, ride or die. And that is where the issue ends. Things are definitely getting interesting. It would have been nice if it was a little clearer about what happened to Circus of Crime. It does appear that they were under demonic influence, and presumably Blaze stopped them, but interesting to see that sometimes the rider can't just run out of fuel as it is. Excuse me. And that brings us to our last book for the moment. DC vs. Vampires, number 7. So, where we left off, the vampires won. With the Vampire King, Dick Grayson, ruling from Gotham. Damian Wayne had managed to escape. Well, Alfred Pennyworth managed to escape with Damian Wayne, I should say. Damian was badly injured. Also, Harley Quinn got a hold of a vial of Lex Luthor's blood, and having heard that it was poisonous to the vampires, she injected herself with it, and basically left Gotham to find human resistance. So we get a little bit of Superman being turned to the ruins of Wayne Manor, and it's very quick, The heroes fell. The sky got blotted out with ash, and yeah, things are kind of bleak. So this takes place after the upcoming DC versus Vampires All Out War. I think that's supposed to be a miniseries as well. Oh, just a one shot. Oh no, it's a miniseries. It's a miniseries. Yes, it is a miniseries. But a handful of survivors are leaving a survival settlement. Adam Strange is trying to send a message into space to see if maybe some of their interstellar allies might help. But they're attacked by Hawkgirl, Plastic Man, both of whom have been vamped up, and Wonder Woman, and Heatwave, and Firestorm, who's killed by a new arrival. The only survivor of the entire of the initial group being Director Bones, and only just at that. The new arrival picks up Director Bones, who's still kicking, and explains that where they need to go. So Bones gives her directions. Basically, survives long enough for her to get to the survivor settlement. The girl's met by Killer Croc, and the Atom. Turns out in the back of Bones' car was Supergirl. She's not turned, but she also doesn't have powers anymore. Her powers because the sun is being blotted out. Turns out that there's a secret human settlement in Kandor. However, before the heroes were able to arrive, before our heroes were able to arrive and set up shop, Superman and a handful of the vampires went through and slaughtered those who lived in Kandor. But there's some argument about amongst the survivors about what to do next. Green Arrow has heard rumors of human farms out near Smallville and wants to liberate them, but there's a potential way to unblot out the sun in Australia. But however, there's still one. It does come up that no one's escaped Gotham, and Batgirl means to go and take out the King. But as I said, it said that no one's escaped from Gotham. But Constantine explains that's not entirely true. One person has, but she's working with some nasty chaps on a little project. And they're not exactly sharing types. The nasty chap the survivor's working with, Professor Pig, Thinker, and Hugo Strange. And who is that survivor? Harley Quinn. That is where the issue ends. Definitely a fun issue. It should be noted also that Harley is not exactly voluntarily working with Pig, Strange, and Thinker. In fact, they have her bound and suspended in a manner that I imagine she is comfortable and has her wanting to basically beat their brains in with a big hammer. Anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.